Okay, so I did the bra video, comparing different kinds of bras. Well, there are also different kinds of masks. There are peels, there are apparently bubble masks, and there's that painful one. I don't do that crap. So there is this stuff. Sorry. Which my friends didn't seem to know what to do with. And then there's this stuff, which I bought thinking it was this stuff because it's the same brand. But turns out it was a mud mask, not a lotion. So maybe we'll do half of one and half of the other, just to be fun. Now this just comes out like toothpaste, but it's not. And I'm going to use the camera as a mirror to see what I'm doing, and actually close that mirror. Now you don't want it too thick, but you do want to get a little nose crease, because as we all, and I'm squeezing from the end just like toothpaste, as we all know, that is a very greasy spot. The nose is going to be interesting to do half of, but fortunately there is a lot of nose to work with. And again, you see I don't want to do too heavy in any one spot. And these are probably going to dry different colors. This one is for old people like me who want lifting and firming. Translation, I saw that I had a few wrinkles and I freaked out. Now, most people, this would be enough. Unfortunately, I'm weird. I actually get zits in my eyebrows. Of course, it could also be my weird skin condition where they look like zits, but they're not. Now, you don't want to get too close to your eyeball because, toxic. Well, I mean, not really. Okay, external use only. If you get too close to the eye, it's going to be internal use really quickly. And I'm sorry about the sideburns, but I moved and I can't find my little electronic face razor. You don't have to get your nostrils. Sometimes I will, just to be funny. But you don't have to. And this one, I have to say, is easier to put on than the other one, because you just squeeze it under your finger. And yes, you do want to get the underside of your jaw. If you haven't gotten zits there, you're very lucky. Like, not like this zone, but like just that little edge there. And you want to get this little nubby bit here. But I don't usually get acne there, and I don't want to get it in my sideburns. So I'm gonna wash this stuff off. Apologize, my faucet's a little loud. Sorry. People message me at the most inopportune times, I swear. Oh, yeah. In case you hadn't noticed, when I make faces, the mask really accents every line. It's just what happens. It temporarily makes you look a little older. I imagine this must look bizarre. Half my face covered in face mask and the other half not. So that one's green. If I remember correctly, this one is kind of a... Yeah, this is going to be an interesting contrast. Unfortunately, this one smells like makeup. I don't like it as much. And see, it comes out in a clump, which means you have to kind of work it more like it's clay, which some of them are. I don't like that it smells like foundation. really don't. Trying to get a nice clean line. Again, getting the nostrils to be funny. You don't have to. I'm just being silly. Tried to get the mask out of my nose so I wouldn't be inhaling, sorry, mud mask. I'm gonna have to go off camera. And oh, okay, it's not as bad. It's not as bad as I thought it was. It just felt like there was a whole bunch of mud mask up my nose, but there wasn't. It's probably my boyfriend messaging me because he has the worst timing. It's like he always knows when I'm filming. If I'm doing a react video and I remember, I'm like, hey, honey, shut up for a bit. I don't actually say shut up, but you know. And you do want to get the corners of your mouth, but not like the corners of your mouth, if that makes sense. Like you want to get the little dimple there, but you don't want to get it in your mouth. And like I said, oh, yeah. I can feel either a zit or one of those weird bumps that I get from my skin condition right here. So I do my eyebrows. You don't have to. It does make it look funnier if that's priority. I'm gonna double check the work in the mirror. Oh, yeah, see? Little patchy. Then clumpy. And I missed spots. Okay, so as it dried, you can see that this one has some bare spots, which means I get to go over it again. That's the upside of this stuff. It's so thick that it goes on in one coat, sometimes a little more than you wanted. And yes, you do have to wash your hands every time, because if you scratch an inopportune place, you have mud mask on your hands, that's going to get really interesting. Stick your finger in near you with a mud mask. See what happens. So now I get to go over all the spots that are a little thin, which is pretty much all of them. Now, the thicker it is, the longer it'll take to dry. If you are getting clumps that do not break up on your face, your mud mask is old and needs to be thrown away. So they do have a shelf life. You may not think so, but they do. And I'm, as you know, autistic, so I like a nice even everything. I like everything to be, you know, as precise as possible. I'm struggling really hard not to make a Braveheart joke with this war paint look I got going on. I gotta use the mirror because the lighting where the phone is not ideal for doing makeup or mud masks. Okay, so the masks are applied. You let them sit until they're dry. Now my Oma had one of those, I'm rinsing my hands, sorry about that. My Oma had one of those hair dryers from like the 70s and 80s where like you sat under this big dome And then I would sit there while the air dried my mask. I don't have one of those. I do have a hair dryer, but that would be really loud and it would probably annoy you guys. So I will just walk you through verbally what comes next. You wait till it's dry. Now you can tell it's dry because you touch your face. You kind of like tap it really lightly. If anything's on your finger, you're still wet. And it'll crack. You'll know you're close to done because your face will get really stiff and you'll start talking like this because you don't want to move your face. Because you'll crack your mask and you can feel it cracking. It's a really odd sensation if you've never done a mud mask. So once you're dry to the touch, this stuff tends to leave like right here. I guess maybe that's where it's really oily. Well, I guess. Yeah. This one tends to leave, and it's not this specific brand, this kind, usually leaves a damp spot on my cheek, in the hollow of my cheek. It could just be an oily spot, or it could be that the hollow of my cheek is so hollow that I don't notice I put on a whole bunch more than I needed. Don't know. This one dries faster, but it takes a couple of coats. By the time you've done this side of the face and you're on this side of the face, like when you finish this side's usually dry, but it's not like coated enough. And the lovely thing about these mud masks is if you haven't plucked properly, you will see every little hair sticking out of your mask, which is why I'm not doing close-ups. Also, you know where all them pores are? You're gonna see all the pores when it dries. Your pores are gonna look huge, but you take a washcloth, or if you're me, now I got these from Dollar Tree. There's a buffer side, and then there's a more texture side that kind of exfoliates or scrubs. I use that to remove my mud mask because it's kind of exfoliating, and I don't need one of those freaking expensive like electronic buffers. I don't want to look like I'm sanding my face with a brush, you know, and they're expensive and there's mixed reviews. So I just use those little pads from Dollar Tree. You get 3 of them for $1. So, and I need to buy more because I'm getting a little stiff. So usually takes 20 to 30 minutes for this to dry because I use 2 different kinds, so they'll probably dry at different rates. So you wait till it's dry. And let me see, can you tell? Oh, yeah, okay. You see how this is lighter than the rest of it? That's getting dry. The darker it is, the wetter it is. So 20 to 30 minutes, and it's gonna burn a little bit. Sorry about the slammed door. It's gonna burn a little bit, but it's worth it. Once you scrub it all off, your face will feel softer than a baby's butt. Because baby powder makes it not so soft. I don't know. Yeah, 13 and a half minutes. We're good. So, yeah. Tells me how long I have to wait before I rinse it off. And sometimes I'll do what you're supposed to wash your face first. I was at the pool. They still smell like chlorine, so I figure I'm good. I'm not the best beauty blogger or vlogger. So you wash your face first, then you put the mask on. So if you're following along at home, I'm sorry. Wash your face first, then you do this. And sometimes I'll just jump in the shower to rinse off and then like wash my hair and do whatever. So sometimes it's a thing that you can do. Or do your face and then take a nice bubble bath. So the rest of you is nice and soft. But do not wear your mask in the tub. The steam from the mask will keep this from drying ever. So you'll just look like, what is that comic book dude that's just basically a pile of mud with eyes? Clay face, I think. I'm not a comic book nerd either. Yeah, so no steam. So if you have a cup of tea, oh yeah, and you might not want to eat or drink when you've got this on, unless you have a straw. My cuticle's shredded. Oh, handy tip. Citrus is good for your cuticles. I was doing juicing earlier in the week, Monday, I think. And so my cuticles are somewhat better because I was messing with oranges and peaches, but you know, there's always that one little, it's not gonna focus. One little bit that just kind of sticks up. Yeah, it's not gonna focus. Anyway, I'll use a nail clipper on that later. So, wash your face. Apply the mask, make sure that it's even. Do a second coat if you need to, if you're using the stuff in a tube. Wait 20 to 30 minutes till it is dry to the touch. Yeah, I don't think I'm there yet, but as you can, I'm turning into like camouflage now. There's like camouflage action going on my face. You can see the dry spots and the wet spots. So 20 to 30 minutes, then you wash your face, whether it's with a washcloth or one of those handy scrubbies or in the shower. Then that's it. If you want, you can put on a face lotion afterward. Could also do some witch hazel if your skin was irritated by the face mask. That does happen. A little witch hazel applied with a cotton pad, not a cotton ball, because that will just put fluff all over your face that you just cleaned. So, do I have any cotton pads somewhere? Yeah, cotton pads. Also Dollar Tree. Witch hazel, also Dollar Tree. I'm disabled, I know how to shop cheap. And I still don't look my age. So it kind of works. Anyway, so if your face is red and splotchy, just take one of them cotton pads. If you don't know, witch hazel comes in a liquid form, so you do that and you just dab it all over your face. It's cool, it's soothing. I think that's it. Oh, make sure you have your hair tied back. It works ideally with a shower cap. I didn't feel like taking them out of the package. I didn't feel like being seen on camera in a shower cap today. So that's a not so quick tutorial on mud masks. I'm not wearing my glasses, so it's going to be really interesting passing time while this dries.